The High School Sports Beat is brought to you by Alfred State College, where within 6 months of graduating, an astonishing 99% are working or furthering their studies. At Alfred State, they stress project-based learning, where students work on real-world problems and learn how to think, not what to think. Visit alfredstate.edu.
Sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. We begin our look at the best of the season on the Sports Beat this week with our opening story, brought to you by Sticky Lips BBQ and Juke Joint. Sticky Lips BBQ Juke Joint, New York State's largest barbecue restaurant right here in Rochester. See our menu and live music calendar at StickyLipsBBQ.com. Sticky Lips BBQ, Jefferson Road in Henrietta. Chloe DeLyser was already the Section 5 all-time goal scorer when we talked to her in October, and she was days away from becoming the state record holder. Not bad for a junior. Here's one of our best stories of the year in Marion. When it comes to setting goal-scoring records, Chloe DeLyser has a simple philosophy. I don't count them, I just score them. And boy does she score. The junior at Marion has already established the Section 5 record. She did that last year, and now she has her sights squarely set on the New York State mark. With 43 goals in the first month of the season, it looks like that is only a matter of time. She might not pay attention to them, but she knows those around her pay attention to the records.
Well, I sort of look at it, but I'm going to say my people of my community think about it way more than I do. I'm really more focused on states and stuff with my team.
That team has gotten off to a perfect start, and while Chloe is a huge part of it, she also knows she can't do it alone. And she has the skills and the desire to see everyone around her get their share of the action.
You know, she loves to set up her teammates. It's her, it's one of her favorite things to do. Try to get everybody in the team involved in the scoring, and she's just very fun to watch, very dynamic, skillful player with the ball.
Oh, it's just been so much fun. Half of the team's my family members, and we're undefeated so far, and I really think that we could go all the way this year with this team.
One of the reasons for the success of this team is the closeness. It's nice to have your cousin as the head coach and a few more relatives on the roster with you. It creates a unique bond and an extra source of motivation.
The last cheer that we do, whether it's at the end of the game, before we go in, from practice, is 1, 2, 3 family. Our motto is, play for each other, play for the girl in front of you, the girl behind you, the girl beside you. So it's definitely a family atmosphere.
When Chloe leaves her Marion family behind, she will go on to become part of Buckeye Nation. She's already committed to attend Ohio State. So why Columbus? When it comes to her college choice, the bigger the better.
Well, I go to a really small school, and I wanted to experience something way different than that, and that's what I'll get at Ohio State.
Making her choice so early in her high school career has taken a lot of pressure off her last 2 years at Marion. She can concentrate on the present, not the future.
Oh, it was a lot of relief, because going through the process is a lot of pressure. You're visiting, you're missing school, you have to make up schoolwork. But after you make it, it's so relieving. Now it's just getting big, getting ready for that.
I think, the pressure's off of her, and, making that big choice. And now, it's all about having fun for her. And she's certainly doing that with her teammates this year.
Her playing time with the Black Knights isn't the only thing that has gotten her to the level she is at. She also plays with one of the top travel teams in the region.
I play for the Western New York Flash out of Buffalo, which is 2 hours, and we play for the ECNL, and we usually do about 3 trips. So I went to Texas, Florida, and New Jersey last year.
Now, what's that like to go to, obviously you go to tournaments like that, you go to places like that, you're going against the caliber of players that you're going to be seeing when you're at Ohio State.
Oh, it's so much fun. Soccer at that pace is just, there's nothing like it.
she plays for the Western New York Flash and, the women's semi-pro team. She wants to get bigger, faster, stronger, and she's definitely a special player. She's been on the girls varsity soccer team since 7th grade, and it's been, really fun having her, watching her, grow as a player, as an individual, as a person.
Personal records might not mean a lot to Chloe, but that's okay. She's got people around her keeping track and counting down.
Oh, absolutely. And she's worked extremely hard for that, and and I'm looking forward to her breaking it.
On October 19th, Chloe scored 4 goals in a game versus Pembroke in the Class C2 quarterfinals to set the state all-time mark, and in the process set the single-season record as well. Well, coming up next, Paul Gotham joins us for the Dunkin High School Notebook. Well, that and more when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, returns.
Power up with Dunkin's protein-filled Power Breakfast Sandwich and Egg White Bowl. They're kind of like this, but with food. Try the new Power Breakfast Sandwich and Egg White Dunkin' Bowl. America runs on Dunkin'.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, brought to you by Dunkin. America runs on Dunkin. And as always at this time, we are joined by Paul Gotham from PickandSplinters.com. Paul, what's on the website right now? As if I have to ask.
State final coverage from Binghamton. John Leconge, Billy Hayne, and myself will be down there covering. We have 3 teams looking to bring the state title home, along with Danny Mendick returning as a pro for the first time here to Rochester to play, and we'll have coverage of all that.
Let's talk about that. Always nice when you get a local guy who's doing great stuff and he's coming back and you get to see him up close and personal at Frontier Field.
Yeah, Danny Mendick, Pittsford Menden grad, who went on to play at MCC and then UMass Lowell, is now a part of the Charlotte Knights in the White Sox organization. And three game set this weekend at Frontier Field. It'll be great. Kevin Clubs will be there, and it'll be great to see Danny play.
Let's talk a little bit about the state finals going on in Binghamton. How do you think Section 5 fares? What are their chances?
We're looking to bring home a state title for a 3rd year in a row. We got McQuaid AA. We have Canandaigua at single A and Gananda at C. Of course, Avon won the C title last year. Livonia won the B title before. We haven't won 2 state titles since 2009, but I think this year will be a good chance for that. We're looking at Canandaigua. If there's a team in Binghamton that has a better 1-2 punch than Mike Scully and Cooper Krunick, I'll be surprised. Michael Scully, 58 innings pitched this year. He has 108 strikeouts, but the 108 strikeouts is impressive enough. But when you look at it, he has a 44 combined total of hits, walks, and hit batsmen. Usually you want to have your pitcher have 2-to-1 strikeouts to walks, but when it's more than 2-to-1, a combined strikeouts to hits and walks, that's beyond belief at times. He has, of course, the 2 no-hitters. Cooper Krunick also has the 2 no-hitters. Then you look at McQuaid, you got Hunter Walsh is 11-0 with a .63 ERA with 68 innings pitched. McQuaid back there for the 2nd time in 3 years. They certainly have a very good chance of winning that. And then Tim McClare at Gananda. Tim McClare, again, we talked about him a little bit last week being overlooked. I almost want to say Gananda is going to punch their ticket to that final. And then when you get to that final, it's whatever can happen at that point. And you go a little bit, if you have to go pitching by committee to get through that game, 7 innings, you go ahead and do that. So, we haven't had 2 state titles since 2009. It was Aquinas and Arkport did it that year. And you got McQuaid looking to bring home a AA title for the first time since the Victor team did it in 2014. Dale Wickham and that Victor team did it then. And Sutherland with Grant Heyman back in 2010. They're the last Class A team to win it. So we're looking to unite or bring together a lot of those titles. I think we have a good chance of doing it this weekend.
All right, outstanding, Paul. As always, thanks very much. Have fun in Binghamton. We're back with more of the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, right after this. Coming up next, the best of making the grade from the year with Kyle O'Gara. And later, 2 top football players meet in the state finals at the Dome. Well, that story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. Hit the ground running at alfredstate.edu. I'm Kyle O'Gara. We now take a look back at our Making the Grade honorees from this season. Arcadia senior Ryan Carker is a sectional winning All-Greater Rochester pick in both soccer and outdoor track. Vanessa Dawley of Churchville Chili is in the top 10% of her senior class and is part of the outdoor track and field team that broke a school record in the 4x200 relay. Brockport's Nick Andrews is a sectional champion who has run a combined 13 seasons in cross-country, outdoor, and indoor track and holds several school records. Rachel Sakira is a senior from HFL who maintains a 4.0 GPA and is a dual athlete in outdoor track and soccer. Garrett Silva from Eastridge was also honored. He was an all-county pick in tennis and is the school's vice president for the National Honor Society. Mercy's own Kristen Johnson is a sophomore captain of the lacrosse team. Since the 2017 season, she scored 68 goals and 53 assists. And finally, Jake Fusari of HFL, who plays baseball for Honeywell Falls Lima and won a state championship for volleyball at Penfield after the 2 schools merged teams. That does it for this week's Making the Grade honorees. We'll continue our recap next week. If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into info@classywolf.com. And now here's Dave with the McArdles Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here are some of the athletes, teams, and coaches making news in this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdles in Fairport. Come home to McArdle. Section 5 track took home some gold at the state championships, with Anea Dees of Hilton winning the long jump in Division 1. Vanessa Watson of Spencerport repeated in the 400-meter hurdles in Division 2. Junior Emma Kinnicutt of Wellsville won the discus throw. Aquinas girls won the 4x100 relay thanks to Zaya Clemens, Umari Diggs, Janai Yeomans, and Nia Williams-Matthews. For the boys, Dustin Meyer of Gates won the Division 1 pole vault championship, and UPrep won the 4x100 relay in Division 2, led by Jarvis Alexander, Perion Brown, Lawson Eric, and Cassius Fashion. Up next, it's Batavia football in the state finals versus JG3. We'll have that story when the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College, continues.
In now to Eichel. He floated one. Score!
Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the High School Sports Beat, brought to you by Alfred State College. I'm Dave Yates. This segment is brought to you by the Injury Free Coalition and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. Please remember to always wear your seatbelt in the front and back seats, and to focus only on driving when behind the wheel of a car. This message courtesy of the Injury Free Coalition for Kids Smart Teen Driving Program and our friends at Leo's Bakery and Deli. The Batavia Blue Devils rolled into the Class B state title game on the strength of one of the best running backs New York has ever seen, Ray Leach. But waiting for them at the Carrier Dome was Glens Falls, led by Joe Girard III. History is what happened next in one of our best stories of the year.
The New York State Class B Football Championship. Top-ranked Glens Falls looking for its second state title in 3 years, versus second-ranked Batavia, hoping to cap a magical season with the program's first state championship. The Glens Falls aerial attack is orchestrated by quarterback Joe Girard III, the Syracuse University basketball commit.
You know every team's going to be very good. You hear about what they do good, what they might do not so good, but that's not very many things, obviously. But we've got quite a bit of film on them. We got a pretty good idea what they're doing. I think we got a good game plan.
Batavia puts the ball in Ray Leach's hands and grinds out yards on the ground. In his 3 previous games, the senior running back rushed for more than 1,200 yards and amassed 22 touchdowns.
I don't think I can put it into words. The only thing I can say is that this entire weekend I've been down here, it's been the talk of the state football committee, and we have some pretty veteran guys on our committee that cannot remember performance like this through the state tournament. So he's on special ground right now.
He's a special player, he's a special human, and he's got some guys up front doing the job for him as well.
Batavia received the opening kickoff and went the length of the field in 6 plays. Leach carried the ball across the goal line, but this time he scored through the air on a 28-yard catch-and-run toss from Ethan Biscaro.
I think it's what they do, and let's get the ball to Ray Leach. And if he gets the ball, gets his carries, and gets his yards, and they can control the clock and control the time, I think they got a good shot.
On the next drive, Leach showed his versatility and connected with Tayo Aburi Bethel on a 46-yard pass. Batavia led 14-0. But the Blue Devils paid a price. Ethan Biscaro suffered a knee injury. The senior quarterback and free safety left the game and did not return until the second half.
He's a huge part of our offense and our defense, so that no question about it, that hurt a lot. But game of football and coaching, you got to figure out how to get it done, and I didn't do that.
With Biscaro in the locker room, Girard and the Glens Falls offense found its rhythm. Elijah Sampson scored a pair of touchdowns. Girard displayed his ability to elude the defense on a 4-yard rush that covered more than 5 times that.
It's definitely natural. At the same time, when I'm running, I'm thinking, we're down in the dumps a little bit here. I might have to make a big play. And when I'm scrambling around, I'm always looking with my eyes downfield. But when I can take off, I take off and try to get what I can. And today, it happened. And when I was getting downfield, the receivers and the backs and all the linemen did a great job blocking for me. And credit to them for making the big plays as well.
An 83-yard Leach touchdown kept Batavia within reach, but the Blue Devils trailed 21-20 going into the locker room. It was as close as they would be for the remainder of the game. On the opening drive of the second half, Girard hit David Barkley on a 4th and 13 from the Batavia 33 to cap a 7-play, 62-yard drive. Six minutes later, Girard took it in himself. Glens Falls was on its way to a 55-32 triumph and another state title. On the day, Girard scored twice with his feet, threw for 2 more touchdowns, and accounted for 314 yards through the air.
He's a great football player. Obviously, he's a Division I athlete. We had our opportunities, I think, and he was very difficult to get a hold of. We simulated all week in practice, but at the end of the day, you still got to come out here and make plays.
We just made plays on defense in the second half and the beginning of it. My cousin Trent Gerard did a great job of finding his way to get the ball, and when he got it, he made plays happen. So, credit to him and credit to the whole line, and just the defense in general. We did a really great job today, and I couldn't be more proud to be an Indian.
Leach finished the day with 30 carries and 410 yards gained. He rushed for 3 touchdowns, scored another through the air, and also threw for 1.
We were a little tired. I just had to believe in my line and keep running the ball hard. Coach told me to stay positive, keep working. Just came into practice each week and worked hard and believed in my team.
Leach set the state single-season rushing mark with 2,993 yards. From the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, this is Paul Gotham with the Vision High School Sports Beat.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, especially Alfred State College, for making the Sports Beat possible. We'd also like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week on our season finale.